This is the activation code. You must say it precisely as it is written. Yeah. I know. What do you think? I'm some sort of an idiot?
A few moments later.
Zadashi. Elijave. Zimatis. Idiotsit. Page. David. Jeez. What is that? Is that mustard? Damn smudge on this page. Uh-oh. Oh, crap. I'm out of here. Heinrich Zemo. This is the comic origin. Baron Heinrich Zemo, Ph.D., was the 12th Baron Zemo, a title of German nobility. His family pledged his loyalty and service to the German Empire in return for Castle Zemo and land they could pass to their heirs. He became a scientist working for the Nazis during World War II. His hood was permanently affixed to his head due to the immersion of Hesian X. He escaped to South America following the war to continue his experiments. He survived to the modern age, forming the Masters of Evil, a team of villains created to take down the Avengers. Baron Helmut Zemo in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Baron Helmut Zemo is a former colonel of the Sokovian Armed Forces and a commander of the EKO Scorpion. Following the Battle of Sokovia, Zemo became a terrorist mastermind who sought his revenge against the Avengers after losing his family and became obsessed with destroying them. Knowing he was no match against the Avengers, Zemo has planned to have them destroy themselves by framing the Winter Soldier for killing T'Challa, which caused Captain America to defend Barnes from the world. That action has caused their Avengers Civil War, in which Iron Man led their manhunt for Barnes, and Zemo allowed Stark to discover that Barnes was responsible for his parents' murder. With the Avengers now in ruins, Zemo tried to shoot himself but was captured by the Black Panther and given to the Joint Counter-Terrorist Center for imprisonment. Hello, welcome back everyone. I'm Jerry Savory. I'm here alone today, but we are going to be talking about Baron Zemo. Because he's showing up in the Falcon Winter Soldier series. I unfortunately have not seen it myself yet. It's up to I believe the 3rd episode. But I figured it's only fair that we do this costume today. So let's get into it. Alright, let's start with the mask. I found a simple pattern online for a over the head mask, like a ski mask, if you want to say. And I'm like, okay, that's going to be really good for this project. But except it had the eyes already pulled out, so obviously I didn't trace over that. I just went fully with the headstock that went over. And the material that I'm using, it's not necessarily a neoprene, but it is like a wetsuit material. So I'm trying to remember exactly what the brand was, but it's not important right now. Okay, to get the shapes in here, I did up the head sock, seamed it up, and put a zipper in the back, and I decided what's the best I'm going to do with this, how's the best way I'm going to put the seams in. And it had that puckering effect, so I looked up online and got a double needle for my sewing machine, which obviously if you're not familiar with it, it runs 2 needles at the same time out of the same motor with 2 spools that come in and 1 bobbin. So I'm like, okay. I took out my good old head sculpt. It's actually hidden right behind me. The Ed head, and put the mask over it, and then started to draw in where I wanted the seams to go. I knew that they went through the eyes, but it's like, all right, it has to go in line going down the back of the head and whatnot. Well, got up to the ears, made a kind of a circling pattern, which actually ended up working. I used a washable pen to lay out this. This is, when I put this costume together, I saw it on a concept art for the MCU for Civil War, and he didn't have this type of mask in there, but I was noticing on the commercials for Falcon Winter Soldier he did with the puckering. But on the original artwork, I believe, actually I want to say it did have the puckering on there, the listing. So but on the comic images and all that, he does have some striations in it, and I'm not sure if it's puckering, but this actually comes up to this actually comes really close to what it looks like in the series. The zipper, once again, the zipper in back is just to give it that form-fitting, hold it onto the face. Obviously I don't have a face mask on this, and you know, you see on the show he does have a face mask under, just because the nose is sticking out a little bit more. It is actually a pretty nice material to breathe through. It does allow your head to breathe. So once again, comfort. Alright, now let's get into this vest. Obviously on the concept images you do see that he has some sort of a armoring vest. Well, let's start with the overview. I'm just checking here. Alright, let's start with the top pieces here. These pieces are actually made from a karate belt, probably I think it was like a white belt that I dyed black, and attached it to this belt, I'll get to shortly. Attached to the belt, comes up, totally aesthetic with there's a strap here. It goes underneath. I just wanted something that was a little bit more like a decorative. Comes down to the back. There's a Y in the back, and there's a steel ring, and these things just clip through the steel ring, and it connects to the back. These are buckles, just regular buckles. I did put some foam over the top just to give it a different look. You know, it's the plain buckle look is kind of boring, and now with having a 3D printer I can actually make these a little bit better. It kind of reminds you of the Cobra buckles. So coming down, purely aesthetic pieces that just go in. I tried to follow what that concept image shows. This is basically, it's just a block of wood painted over with some plastic dip, and the decorated pieces on it, it's just, you know, silver painted, a piece of foam and went over. These are fully functional. Compartments. I want to say they were like a first aid compartment that you would find in the outdoor section of like Walmart. I took it and painted it with some of the plastic dip, and I attached it to this belt with some of those binder posts, screw and binder posts. So I wanted it to be fully functional because at a con, I did wear this to one of the big cons around me is Rhode Island Comic Con. I did wear it there where I was putting like, I could put my, at the time I had a small cell phone, I could put my cell phone in here, you know. I got an iPhone 7 here, which doesn't necessarily fit in here. I think I had an iPhone 4. So it fit in there. I fit a little bit of money in there and whatnot. So, all right. Now, getting into this piece here. This was like totally custom done. This vest had a vest underneath it. It's totally custom done, going down the back and the front. And when I say custom done, it's I laid a pattern out on me and traced it out. Actually, I want to say I laid it upon this mannequin and kind of traced it out. But in between here, it's foam blocks, and I'm just quickly trying to remember exactly what I did here. I believe I put everything in, and the bottoms here were open, and I kept sliding in the foam pieces. And as I slid them in, I ran a stitch across and kept doing that all the way through. It's the same with the back. Once again, it comes down to that pseudo V. I'll take it off when I get finished with this. I'll show you what the back looks like, but it has that kind of pseudo V that comes down. Tied off the stitch in the back so you don't see it. Well, maybe this is a good time to actually take the belt off and show you the various other elements in there. I do have a holster here, but this was my gun that I used for the costume. It was a broomstick handle gun. It's a Mauser, and it's an airsoft gun. And I did have it blocked off here for a con just to, you know, keep everybody's wool down. It's still an operational airsoft gun. So, and I want to say I did some finish work on this, but I didn't do the full finish work on this. It was black, and I did do the dry brushing with the silver and cleaned it up a little bit. So let's put that down. And I did Free Comic Book Day up in Manchester, New Hampshire for Double Midnight Comics, and I wore this costume. I didn't bring the sword with me to Rhode Island Comic Con, but I did at the Free Comic Book Day. This is just a plastic rubberized training sword you buy online. No frills to it. I thought it was quite fitting for this costume. Probably a little too much for this costume, but you know, if you look at other images of Baron Zemo, he has various different swords that he's pictured with. One of them that I can recall right off the top of my head is it's one that you could see, you know, it's shot from the back, and he has the sword out like this, or kind of like this, and it has this same type of sword in it. So let's just put that down and take this off. I actually really enjoyed putting this costume together. It was a feat. It was, I don't want to say it was one of the first in-depth costumes, but it was one of the ones that let me back up and say each costume I do, it raises the bar a little bit. I raised the bar on myself, trying to outdo myself from the year before. And this was one of those. This fell in that one line. It's considered a quick build just because it wasn't a full suit costume, but it was a quick build for me. With having that skill to do it fairly quickly. See, that's the back of the costume. All right, or the back of the vest. Now, up along the shoulders here was just a piece of canvas strapping glued on the inside, holding this end. Like I said, it was just purely a aesthetic value. I did glue it down so it didn't shift too much. These Hydra emblems, I actually found a pin on Amazon. It was one of those stick back pins, and I'm like, wow, I would really love to have that for this costume. So basically I ordered it, made a silicone mold, and then casted it out of the resin, the Smooth On resin, Smooth Cast 300 I believe, and did some black wash to it. You have it here and here. Once again, it's just merely aesthetic, with the people of Hydra, they're so proud of the organization. When you were outed, they wanted to express it so much. Kind of the Nazis want to express their following, and they express their symbolism. So, all right. The belt is this. I want to say it's a 3-inch. Kind of expensive to get, but I doubled up on it and sewed them together. And then I used a Velcro to put it together. Alright, this is the sword frog. Sword goes right through here. This was old pieces of leather. You kind of find these scrap leather piece packages at Michael's. And that's where all this came from, and I did put some work into it just to make it look nice, and it's been a little bit, so but that's it. Just a kind of a simple one. I didn't have a scabbard for that plastic sword. So this holster actually came with that gun. I didn't do anything different to this holster. It's exactly the way it came, except for I put a Hydra emblem on it. So I think that was one of my last things I did to finish this costume, and I think I was running out of time. I want to say I was running out of time, so I quickly kind of put that on. I did want it for Rhode Island Comic Con. I was looking for a belt buckle. I didn't know, you didn't see any belt buckles on the concept art, and I'm like, and I had this heat sink here, and I'm like, I don't know, that has a nice look to it. So I opted to put that on, just a decorative piece. It was pretty funny when I was at Rhode Island Comic Con. They didn't care so much about my airsoft pistol, but they were looking at this like this was gonna hurt somebody. Okay, fine. I'm not gonna knock them, but it was kind of odd that they were putting all their attention toward this and not toward an airsoft gun. So, but that was it for this vest. Put down. All right, I'm gonna get into the waistcoat now. This waistcoat, I actually put together this waistcoat. I bought a Simplicity fabric, Simplicity pattern, and put together this jacket. It does have some little minor imperfections to it, but I think it came out really nice. Let's see. I'm just looking through just to see if I could pick up anything. You do see here, I do have a Hydra symbol here. I did have them going down these buttons. I super glued them on, and it didn't work out too good. It worked out for Rhode Island Comic Con, but it didn't work out for Free Comic Book Day, and they kind of like shifted off. I'm not sure why, but they did. They were smaller Hydra symbols, and this was another pin that I did the same thing with for the shoulder, the epaulets on the shoulder. Painted silver, did some black wash, but this one's still here. So let's see. I would have put some up on these corner pieces here, these lapel pieces, but they're caught or they're hidden underneath the vest. So it does go down to the back of my knees. I'm just a tad bit short of 6 feet. It does come down to the back of my knees. The vest is built-in, the built-in vest here, so it doesn't fully, obviously it doesn't fully close for a waistcoat, but these shoulder pieces right here are just, it's 1/4 inch foam, molded around, let's see if I can pull this, yeah, I can pull this off. It's held on by Velcro, but it's just shoulder armor. Right now, off the top of my head, I don't remember. I think it was on the concept image. He had these shoulder armor pieces, and painted with that basic Liquitex basic silver, matching corresponding Velcro. That's on each shoulder. Let's see. And the iconically, the comic image shows it, or the concept image shows it. On the preview that I saw for Falcon and Winter Soldier, it does show that he has a fur-lined lapel. This is faux fur, obviously, because it doesn't come in purple, but there are flakes of purple in there. I thought it was a piece into the headpiece and the shirt with that pink or pink purplish. It was a pain at first to work with it, because to cut it, you had fur all over the place. When you try to cut it off to match the lapel, and then sewing. Sewing would mat down the fur. You had to go in. You had to manually open it up, or if you could, kind of spread out the fur a little bit so you get a sewing in there. It was a. I don't want to say it was a nightmare, but it was a chore. Now, Free Comic Book Day for us, I'm pretty sure it's like this all over, but it was May. So I'm outside sweating my body off with a fur-lined collar. Yeah, that was interesting. So, I just popped off that Hydra emblem that was on here. So I made a shirt. It doesn't fit me now, but once again, I got a medical condition that's with my liver that's causing it to swell. Anyways, the shirt was made for that same material, real stretch material. Putting it on, it does have like a turtleneck around here, a high neck. It does have a zipper in the back that goes right up and it pulls the collar right up. I didn't want my skin to show. So what happened is this gets hidden underneath the mask. The mask came down quite a bit and the neck went up quite high, so you didn't see anything. Once again, I wore it in May and I damn near sweat to death in it. Rhode Island Comic Con? I was standing outside and that was it December? November? Yeah, something like that. It was a cooler month. And it wasn't too bad because I would put the mask on, that was it. Everybody was taking pictures. It's like, I know, I'm putting this on because I'm cold. So, not much, just basically a simple shirt with a zipper on the back to bring it up. Getting into the hand parts or arm parts, I have these gloves that are riding gloves. They're not all that thick. They're full leather. They're not, totally incumbent. They fit real snug for me. Now, I need to figure out which one's which. All right. Now, in the comic book image, or I'm sorry, the concept, keep getting everything confused. In the concept image, you do see that he does have something around his hands, like a armor piece around his hands or so. And I couldn't figure out how to even do it back then. So what I did is I got this neoprene glove and I cut the center out, cut the fingers down, and then because you're just looking at this part, I didn't bother with the inside, but I painted the outside with the silver paint and I attached a piece of, let's see, I can see it right here. It's a doubled up piece of 1/8 inch foam and painted that silver. So it does give you that feel that he does have something on his hands. It completes the costume. Obviously, what I did to one side, I did to the other side. I'm just showing you one hand. And then he had a cuff. Alright. Now, I didn't want to put the cuff on this jacket here, just in case I wanted to reuse the jacket. The only thing that's really on this jacket is obviously the fur is sewn in, but then you had the Velcro, which I could easily take that off if I wanted to do something different. So I opted to get kind of reminds me of like a gauntlet cuff. So it's canvas. And I want to say it's the same material that I use for the Batman and Laughs tails that comes down. Just simple canvas. You can get it wet. It's waterproof. It's a plastic inside. Do have another foam ring that went around the arm, painted up silver, and doing it on the wrong arm, but I do have a zipper inside. It closed it all up so that you did have a full gauntlet there. Let's see. That was it for that part. I wanted the ability, because I suppose I could have got these. They do sell leather gauntlets, sword gauntlets. I suppose I could have got that and put armor pieces on there and so on. They do tend to have tendency to be a little expensive, but I wanted to have the capability of separating pieces out. Let's say I don't want the vest. I could wear it without the vest, let's say I don't want the cuff. I can take the cuff off, or the top of the gloves, and I just wanted the gloves and the jacket and the sharp mask. And say I wanted just that, I could do that. So, all right. Now we get into these boots. I actually like these boots. These boots are so comfortable. I couldn't tell you. I think I got these off of eBay. Very cushiony on the inside. Nice sole. I want to say I think I drove 2 hours with these on, and it didn't bother me at all. The buttons on the side are mainly for closing these up, because it is open up top here. It doesn't have any Velcro. It has Velcro down the bottom here, but the laces came through, bound up, and when you get it up to the top, you could actually do kind of a wraparound at the top and close them in. Very comfortable. I want to say it was only like something like $30 for those boots. I got a real deal on those, especially with the other boots that I've been buying through Wish. Those came off of eBay. So, because then I wasn't into buying stuff off of Wish. I know a lot of people have some minor, discrepancies or problems with Wish. I never really. But that is my Baron Zemo. What pants did I use over there? It's the same type of pants that I wore for the Batman Laughs. It was a casual twill pants. I don't think that a leather pants would have sufficed for this character. And obviously jeans wouldn't, but some sort of a casual type of pants, i.e. twill pants. But yes, I built it for comfort, just like I do with everything else. It was fairly comfortable, multiple layers. It wasn't bad in the winter. Winter months, I wouldn't go out in 15 degrees, but it did. It was comfortable. Summer, it does get a little bit stuffy with the mask on, and the fur line around the neck. I believe I was sweating through there. The shirt wasn't too bad. The boots were just a little bit warm. I mean, they're not leather boots. They're more of a costume boot. So, but other than that, I enjoyed making this costume. I mentioned to you earlier, without sounding like beating a dead horse here, but this was in one of those lines where it was that progression, that costume making progression. And yeah, every costume's like that, but this is one of those ones that took me above and beyond, because at that time I could make some clothing, but I never made anything to that caliber with this jacket. That vest actually had some thought put into it. I don't think I would change anything on the vest. I might go with the Cobra buckles, because I am doing that for a client, printing some out with the 3D printer. I think I might just do that, but you couldn't get much more out of you couldn't get much more closer to the concept image than this. And now, since I've been seeing these commercials for Falcon Winter Soldier, seeing the type of jacket he had on, I mean, he didn't have this shirt, but the mask, the jacket, it's just fitting. Once again, I do enjoy making villains. They sometimes have a tendency to have the best costumes. I don't know, Loki with the horns and whatnot, and this one just looking really badass. But I haven't really worn this too much. I did wear it around town for Halloween. Like I said, I wore it to a con. I wore it to Free Comic Book Day. I think that's kind of it. We'll wear it out in public. I'm hoping that someday that Cody might, jump into this and become Baron Zemo, like in the comics. We're working on the 13th generation of Zemos. Maybe he could be my 14th. But other than that, that's it. I do want to say thank you for stopping by and listening to this. I'm trying not to ramble too much or so. I'm trying to make this as enjoyable as possible. So hit me up on my webpage, jerrycp.com, jerrycp.com. Go there. You can take a look at these costumes. I know that this costume's up with a quick write-up. It goes into a little bit more detail than what I'm going with now, but for when I think I do have this material listed up there. But anyways, jerrycp, jerrycp.com. Go there, enjoy go there and look around. Give a good old like on this YouTube video if you enjoyed this. Hit subscribe, and I will see you next week with another costume. And I think I might continue with the Marvel villains, so who knows what I got going on. I got about 5 of them. So, alright, well, I do appreciate it, and have a great week, whenever you're watching it. Thank you so much, and this is being recorded on Easter Day, so happy Easter to those that celebrate it. For those that don't, I apologize. But you guys have a good one. Thanks.